Hello everyone. Laravel 8 is now released, and with Laravel 8 we have a new hotness in Laravel community, which is Laravel Jetstream. And Laravel Jetstream is a new authentication scaffolding for Laravel, packed with lots and lots of new features with the latest technologies like two-factor authentication, avatar uploading and browser sessions, then API tokens and much more, using Laravel Livewire and or actually Inertia.js. So this is very cool because everything is free for you. It's open source, you can use it, distribute it, do whatever you want. So let's see how we can use the Jetstream, Laravel Jetstream, and how we can install, set up and explore all the features in this video. To get started with Laravel Jetstream, just search for Laravel Jetstream and we will have this GitHub repository for github.com/laravel/jetstream. And the documentation is having a 0.7.0. If you are using it, could be different, but obviously higher. Jetstream uses Tailwind CSS for the designing the UI part, and for the backend, Livewire or Inertia.js. For the API, it's using Laravel Sanctum, which was released with Laravel 7 for handling the authentication token. This Laravel Jetstream is more than just authentication scaffolding packed with various things, as I told you. So yes, you can use it with the composer, but I'm going to show you with this new Laravel installation with the jet flag. So you can see this jet flag means you want your application to be created with Laravel Jetstream. But to use this jet flag, you need to upgrade your Laravel installer with the latest version. So you can see I have currently the version 4.0.0 Laravel installer. Okay, so now if you go to the releases, and we have a latest release which is 4.0.0, and just 1 hour ago 4.0.1 was released. So how you upgrade your Laravel installer? Simply go to here on the terminal and say composer global update and run this one. Or if you don't have the installer, then simply install it and it will obviously fetch the latest version. After upgrading to Laravel new installer, and now I can check the installer version, which is 4.0.1. so we just need to say Laravel new L8, which is Laravel 8, and then to create the jet version, that means Laravel with a Jetstream, you need to say -- jet. And because Laravel is going to release within few hours, it's not currently released, so I need to use dev, but you don't have to use it because at the time you are watching, I'm damn sure Laravel 8 is released. So without dev you need to use. So yeah, here it is, Jetstream. Which stack you want to prefer? I prefer Livewire. And then it says, do you want themes? Yeah, obviously I want, so yes. And now it's a regular Laravel installer but with Jetstream also. Laravel 8 with Jetstream is ready, but let me show you something. So till this point everything is absolutely normal, but then it says using the 0.7.0 version for Jetstream. Then after installing it, then it says okay, you need the package for Livewire also, obviously. And then also every Jetstream uses Laravel Sanctum, so that one is also installed. And yeah, we have everything here. At last we need to run npm install and npm run dev. So first let's open our application in VS Code. So here we are, and on the sidebar I can show you very nice things, that it has already Tailwind installed, because as I told you, Jetstream uses Tailwind for the UI features. And because Tailwind is there and we need Webpack to compile everything from the assets directory, and then after on the composer.json you can see we have here Laravel framework for 8, then Jetstream 0.7.0, Sanctum 2.6, and Livewire. Wow, very nice thing. Then next thing I want to show is the database structure. We have lots of new database files. That means the schema. First is user password, and now we have a two-factor column. So two-factor column are going to use the two-factor authentication and some of other things. But before moving to the internals, let's see how this is going to look. And as you know, we need to run npm install and npm run dev. So before doing anything, let's run this one. And make sure if this command is not working, you can run these two commands separately. That means first run npm install and then run npm run dev. Finally, all the assets are here. Very first thing we need to do is set up the database. So I'm using PostgreSQL, so pgsql, and it is 5432. And the database name is Laravel 8 I have created, and the username is my name and password is password. So this is done, and if I can show you with the table plus is that this is a Laravel 8 and it's empty, no tables are there. So let's say php migrate, again a new alias I have created for php migrate, and you can see we have lots of tables like teams table, sessions table, team and user table to connect team with the user, personal access token, failed job, two-factor authentication column, and user and password. Okay, so let's refresh here and you can see all the tables are here. And without this you cannot start with the application with Jetstream, because it need the sessions table to store the session for every time you open the Laravel application. Okay, so since everything is done, before showing you the actual dashboard for the Jetstream, I'm going to do last thing is I will go to the Jetstream configuration. I will explain this later, but I'm going to just comment everything. Also on this fortify.php file, what this is, I'm going to also tell you this one, but let me just comment these things and then see the magic. So I will start the server php serve. Once again, PAS is the alias I have created for php serve. Go to localhost 8000 and hit enter, and woohoo, we have a new Laravel homepage for Laravel 8. Cool. But you can see at the top right we have a login. Yeah, this is the login for Laravel Jetstream, and now click it and you see this is very nice, minimalistic and cool login page built with Tailwind CSS. So if I try to log in with email and the password, we know there is no user in the database, so we are getting this credential do not match our record. So how we can create new user? So I think you guessed it right, we should go to the localhost 8000/register, but it says oops, not found. Why is that? Because remember, I did something, I just commented everything. So let's go to the Fortify, and here you can see we have this feature. That means you can also control the registration page. Currently it's not visible. Now I just uncomment this one, and just by doing this, if I refresh once again, woohoo, we have this register page, which is again designed by Tailwind CSS. Next, let's just quickly register our application, and yep, and click on register. And as usual, we are registered, and this is the nice looking dashboard for Laravel Jetstream. Yep, this is there, and we have a new entry in the users table, and also on the session we have a session table. We will see that later, but it's having a avatar here, which is SA for Sarthak, the initials it had taken, and it is from actually a API called UI avatars. So I can search for UI avatar, and this is a very nice API which is not going to store anything, which is very safe, and you just need to give the name like this. Let's try this. John Doe become JD. So that's why Sarthak become SA. Very nice. But currently it's just like a simple authentication system where we have a profile. In this profile we can update our name, email and change the password. But we also have one more thing, which is for log out from all browser session. Remember I told you that every session is stored in this sessions table. So if I go to Chrome, so open Chrome, and here I will go to /login and try to log in here. Oops, I think that was bitfumes@gmail.com. Yeah. So now if I once again go and refresh this page is having two login information, one for Chrome, one for Edge, and here once again obviously this should be the same. But the most important thing is that if I can say my password is hacked and someone is logged in with Chrome, I can simply say log out from every other sessions except this one, current one. You need to give the password and log out from all the sessions. You just have one session which you are having active one. But then here if I refresh this, you can see it's taking me to the login because this session is now expired. So once again I can show you that if you log in and created a new session, and that session is actually stored in this database. So you can see here we have a new session and it has all the information for our login, and which is saying that it is actually the Chrome login. Cool. So this is for the authentication, and I can close the Chrome one, and yes, user can delete the account also. But you can see these things are already there, which should be controlled from here, but I don't know why it is not available. So update profile information, this one, and update password, which is this one. Features are already there. This next feature I want to enable is two-factor authentication. So once I enable this feature, you will see just above this browser session, if I refresh, we have a two-factor authentication. What is the use of this one? So suppose I enable this one. So we have this QR code and we also have some recovery codes. So with this recovery code, you can actually log in into your application on this two-factor authentication. So first, let's see what we can do with this QR code. So here is my phone and I'm going to scan this QR code and open this with Authenticator app. Now it says you want to add token. Yes, for this user bitfumes@gmail.com. And now at the last you will see that we have a new Laravel and 119803 is the one. And the cool thing about this is it's going to change. First, I'm going to actually copy these things so that I can have it somewhere. So I just put it here for the reference. I will change it later. And now what I will do, I will just log out from here and try to log in. So let's see if I try to log in with the password. After this, now it's asking for the authentication code. And this is from the Authenticator application, which is this one. So I just copy it and paste it here, and then let's see if I'm giving a wrong token, then what's going to happen. So yeah, it says the wrong token. So now once again I need to log in, password, try to log in again, and this time I need to give the correct one. So yeah, after giving correct one, I am here. So this is the power of two-factor authentication with the Authenticator app. But you can also see that we have these recovery codes. What is the use of these recovery codes? As the name suggests, these are for recovery of your account. Suppose by mistake you have removed your Authenticator app and somehow you are not able to reach your app, you can use these tokens, and every token is valid for only once. Let's try this. Once again, I'm going to log out, and this time also I'm going to log in, and as you know, it's going to ask for the recovery codes. And this time I'm going to say I'm not going to use any authentication code, I use recovery code. Let's try the last one. So I have used it, click on login, And yes, you can see now we are logged in without the use of that authenticator app. Once again, let's try, and this time I'm going to show you that the token recovery code actually is only valid for once. Let's try the same recovery code again. Log in, and now it says it's invalid actually. But if I try the other one, like the first one from here, and use recovery code to log in, I can easily log in. But if you think that these codes are leaked or you want to rotate these codes, then you can go to the profile section, and here on this part you can see it says show recovery codes, and now recovery codes can be regenerated. So regenerate recovery code, and yeah, all the recovery codes are regenerated, and you can see these codes are totally different from this one, and you can rotate or regenerate codes again and again as you want. That's the power of this two-factor authentication. Very powerful thing. So for now I'm going to disable this so that I can easily log in and show you other informations and features. Cool. So let's see the next feature. I think you probably know the email verification and reset password. So currently I'm logged out, and you can see there is no reset password link. So if I enable this feature and refresh this page, you can see now we have this forgot your password. We can do the same thing as we already know with Laravel authentication. But now let's move to the real Jetstream. Now you will think that what is Fortify and what is Jetstream? So let's go to the Jetstream, and actually Jetstream uses a package, again a package from Laravel itself, that means from Taylor Otwell, and the package is Laravel Fortify. So let's have a look on the Laravel Fortify. So Laravel Fortify, and Fortify is here, and then this package is actually for the front-end agnostic authentication backend for Laravel. So Fortify is a backend for the Laravel Jetstream. So what this include actually? Let's open the sidebar, and when you install the Jetstream, then you get this action directory. Inside this action directory you have a Fortify folder and Jetstream folder. So in this Jetstream folder we have something related to teams, but on the Fortify we have related to user, create new user, password validation rules, reset password, update password, user profile update. Everything is actually managed by this package which is called Fortify, and here is the thing you can change, you can update according to your need. Similarly, we have Jetstream which is going to add functionalities for the teams on your Jetstream package. You can do all sorts of things, whatever you want you can modify it. So what I think is, now let's have a look on the configuration for the Jetstream. We have just saw the configuration for Fortify, which is including all these features, and also there is a limits. That means if user is going to log in with incorrect information 5 times, then you can see it says too many login and try in seconds. And here it's come from this. If it is null, that means if it is 5 requests per minute, 5 login per minute, you can change it according to your need. Then whenever you are authenticated, where you want to move the user after authentication, you can change these settings on the route service provider, which is inside app http or providers. We have a route service provider. In this route service provider you can see we have a home, which is a dashboard actually. So it is home means dashboard, and which we know when we successfully log in, then it's going to redirect me to the dashboard page. And then you can set the username, which is by default email. So when you log in, try to log in, then it says use email. You can change it to username or whatever you want. Also, it uses the password broker, which you don't have to worry about, the guard web. So this is all about Fortify. But as I told you, let's go to the configuration of Jetstream. So Jetstream configuration is here, and now we have actually commented these cool features. Explore the first one, profile pic. So I have enabled it, and let's go and log in. And as soon as I go here, click on profile, you will see we have a new profile section, or you can say avatar section on this profile information. And here I can set a new avatar for my application, and I can use this pic, and yeah, it is there. Now I just need to click on save, and woohoo, we have this here. And isn't it cool? It's quickly updated here, plus on the right top, and it's actually saved inside your application. That is very, very cool. And this avatar is available everywhere you go, so obviously it's sticking there on the right top. Next one is this API. So suppose you are going to give user information from your application, but that thing requires some authentication. So now this time, once I enable this feature, you can see we have a new menu in this menu bar, which is saying for API tokens. Yes, you can create the API token and give the permissions according to this. So I say test token and give the read permission, click on create, and we have this token. So let's save this token somewhere. So yeah, here I have saved, and if I close it, you can see I cannot see that token again, but I can change the permission for that token. But what is the use of that token? Suppose you have created a route, and let's create the route, a simple route with a auth sanctum and with a /test of get request, returning just hey. Okay, so how we can test it? You can simply go to the Postman, and we have a localhost 8000/API/test because we are in API.php file, and make sure you provide headers as content type application JSON and accept application JSON. Giving a get request, send it. Now it says unauthenticated, but this user can get access to this route if I say this bearer and the API token I have provided, like this. And now if I send it, you can see we are having this hey from the backend because of this token. So this is very useful, and you can define everything here. But now you are wondering how these permissions are here. Okay, so let's go to the app and then go to providers. We have a Jetstream service provider. In this Jetstream service provider, if you can see on this boot method, we have a configure permissions, and the configuring permission have some relation with the roles. So if someone is an admin or administrator, then we have these 4 permissions. So we can create the permission, or we can rename it to store. So now if I go refresh this page, you can see now we have a one more, which is called store. But why we have a one more? Because all the permissions are merged from here and to here. So let's do one thing. If I comment this out, so we don't have, suppose we don't have any editor role, then if I refresh this page, you can see now we don't have a create, we just have a store. So these two are merged and create overall permissions name, which is given here, and then you can assign that particular permissions to these things, and everything is, you can see here, is Livewire. So this model is also Livewire. Never mind, but how we can use these features of the permissions actually? So once you go to the documentation of this Jetstream from here, as you scroll down, Here we have authorizing incoming request. You can validate the request by using this thing like request user token can. So we have this API, and here we can simply test if condition. So we can just copy it for now and paste it like this, and then if I say if it is okay, then return it, else I can say unauthorized. Okay, so once again let's try from here. Send, yep, it is there, but if I change it to read or write, so there is no permission I think called write. Yeah, there is a delete. So suppose there is a permission, I'm checking for the delete one. So if I send it, you can say, you can see it's now saying unauthorized. Obviously you need to return with proper status code and proper message. So this is the cool feature of permission and API token you can create with Jetstream. So let's get back every permission, and if I refresh, yeah, everything is back to normal. Next feature is very important, and it's the most required feature we need from the Laravel, which is having some themes. So let's save this file, go here and go to dashboard actually, and click here, and now you can see some of other items in this menu. We have a theme setting, create new theme, and the current theme you are. Actually you can switch from here. So let's go to the theme setting. Now it says team name. By default the team name is your first name's team, and everything is inside the database. So you can see once I enabled the team, you can have this team already inside this table, and team is currently not connected with any user because by default you have connected to your own team. So you are the member of your team, one member of your team. Okay, so you can add more team members and you can define the roles. Once again, these roles are from the Jetstream service provider. Remember this Jetstream service provider, and we have this configure permissions. We have an admin, we call it administrator. This is the role name, and this is the actual title for that role. Then we have some description, similarly editor and like this, or we can create one more for publisher, suppose like publisher, and call it with a capital P, publisher, and I can say something publisher can publish blog, let's say, and then I can only give the permission to read and update. See this, now if I refresh this page, now we have a role, administrator, editor, and publisher. We can define these roles. Okay, so let's add one more person to this team, and this time I'm going to say Sarthak at bitfumes.com, and I want to make him a editor. So yeah, editor is selected, click on add, and now it says unable to add because this person is not inside our database. That means we need to register one more user. Let's open the incognito window, and here I will go to register because we have enabled the register one, and this one is John, and I say Sarthak at bitfumes.com, and I call it John at bitfumes.com. Then secret123, click on register, and this time if I try to make John as the new member with the role of editor, click on add, and yes, at the bottom you can see we have all the team members and John is the new member of my team. Now let's go to the John's dashboard, and this time you can see John, and now John has two teams. One is John's own team, which is the one member team, but the Sarthak's team is there. And as Taylor has demonstrated, I'm going to do the same thing because I love this thing, because if you switch between the teams you cannot actually see what's happening. For that I will go to this resources, views, because everything is inside the Laravel components, and now we have a dashboard.blade, And here on this dashboard, exactly going to do the same thing what Taylor did. So I'm going to say the authenticated user, so auth user and current team arrow name. Let's see what's going to happen. So if I go refresh this page, and yeah, it says John's team, and if I switch to Sarthak's team, and now you can see we are on the Sarthak's team. So every team can have its own dashboard with lots of other things, whatever you want and however you want to configure. Now the point is what you can do with this team. As I told you, you can separate out every team situations, team functionalities, everything. With this user current team, you will get access to the current team. All teams you can get access, the own teams, and all sorts of APIs are given inside this documentation so that you can have a look there. And that's an amazing thing to have. But this is not limited to your own team. One more option we have to create another team. So John by default get 2 teams because someone has added John to his team. So if he go here, yeah, he can easily switch. But let's go here and we have a new option called create new team. You can also create another team and then you can name it, I say another team. What a nice unique name. And this time we have, yeah, you can see Sarthak's team and another team. So we have 2 different teams here. Now suppose John doesn't want to be in this team like Sarthak's team, so he can switch to Sarthak's team and then go to team setting, and yeah, he can easily leave this team. So he can click on leave, and yeah, it says leave, and now John doesn't have any new team, just John's team. It's given Sarthak's team. If I refresh, it's still there. I think I need to switch to John's team. Yeah, and that's how you can create this. Okay, let's go. And here on the Sarthak's side, he can see that on his Sarthak's team, John is no longer the member of his team. So this is how you can manage team and give some sort of permissions, and according to permission you will have the roles, as we know from this Jetstream service provider, and we can extract information and show or hide features and give ability according to these roles on our Laravel application. And obviously you can get the roles easily, and here we are. So roles and permissions are given here, and if you want to check for the permission, you can check for the permission with this API has team permission with the particular role. So here we have a permission and the role. So that's how we can validate the user or authorize the user. So this is all about the features, the major features of Laravel Jetstream, but it's not the end yet. Let's now explore how everything is working. I told you that, let me just close everything. I told you that there are configuration for our Fortify, and we have explored that. Now let's explore the Jetstream configurations. So yeah, I got this stack which is I'm using Livewire, and if you want to change it later you can simply switch between them, but then you need to install that one. And the features, just 2 configurations are there, and we have explored these things also. Now let's go to another thing. Here we have the app directory, and now we have the models directory, which is very cool. And we have this user.php model, and this model is now having has API token. This has API token trait coming from the Sanctum package. So you can see it is from the Sanctum package, so that user can create the token. So if you can take a look on has API token trait, this trait is having a tokens, token can, and remember we have actually used the token can from here. Yeah, this one. So token can. So this API or this function actually coming from this has API token trait. Cool. Next we have a hash factory, and this is the new feature of Laravel 8. We are not going to talk about that, but has profile photo, this one is good. So let's explore this. Has profile photo, this trait is having the update profile, the logic for the update. Then you have a get profile photo URL attribute from the storage disk, and we have actually stored that image inside storage app. You can see livewire temp, and that is again the livewire feature, but in reality we have a profile photo here which is like this. So this is how we can store the profile photo, and this is how we get the URL for the profile photo. You can dig into that and understand how Laravel is written from the tailor's and a tailor's point of view, and you can adapt his style of writing the code. Then we have a default profile pic. So as I told you in the starting of this video that every initials is coming from this uiavatar.com, which is very nice website for having initials avatar. And then profile disk, you can change this disk by having a vapor artifact name. This you can define, or otherwise it will be S3 or public, and yeah, that's good. Next is has team. Very nice. Remember we have used one more API which is called user current team, and that is coming from this trait. It says is current team. Yeah, this one is there, current team. So now it is having all the checks, and at last we are having a belongs to relationship with the Jetstream team model. And now let's go to models directory. We have a team model for our team table, and this is having all normal stuffs, and that's very nice. And next one is you can have all teams. So once again, all the APIs here, you can see all teams, owned teams, teams, personal team, everything is given here. You can explore once again all these things. The last trait added by the Jetstream package is two-factor authentication. Let's explore that. Two-factor authentication, and I think two-factor authentication, this one. So we have this trait, and it says recovery codes. We know that recovery code, it's decrypting, then converting into JSON decode, and all the codes are saved somewhere, I think on the user table. And yeah, two-factor authentication code. Currently we don't have the two-factor authentication enabled, so that's why we don't have here. And that column is coming from the migration. Once again, let's go to the database migration, and we need to move it like this. We have create team user table. What is team user table? Oh, that is a team user table for connection of the team. Yeah, add two-factor column to user table. And see here, first it says schema table, not schema create. This is the thing you can use to update any table without losing the data. So here we are saying that on the user table, just add a text field called two-factor secret after the password, which is nullable. So two-factor secret after password actually. So it has added at the last, I don't know why. Okay, and then after it's saying that okay, after this run this one. So this is once again text field two-factor recovery codes after two-factor secret and nullable. And here we are. So these things are very nice, and these are coming from here. So recovery codes, replace recovery code as we rotate the recovery code, remember that thing. So that comes here, two-factor QR code SVG. So here they are using this system to create the SVG QR code for scanning what I have scanned with my mobile. And yeah, so here we are. So this is all about the traits added to the user model to make functionalities seamless on the Jetstream package for the scaffolding. Now, last but not the least, obviously, what we are getting from the Jetstream package is, if you go to the resources, then views, and all sorts of things are available, which is actually the Livewire component. So if you can see here, we have a layout, we have an app. Here at the bottom, you will see that we are having the Livewire script stacking the models, and then we have a header. Everything is actually Blade but with X Jetstream, and this is actually the component which you are getting with this Jetstream. So how you can explore these things? Let's go here, Livewire features. So if you want to reuse these things, like this button we have, and one more button, one more kind of button I can show you is, if you go to the profile at the bottom, red one, you have this red one. Also, if you click, we have a nice model. Everything is from the either from Livewire or from Inertia.js, whatever you want. So this is from there, and you can export all these things. So run this command in a new tab. Yeah, so now it has published everything inside the resources vendor Jetstream. So let's open the sidebar, and this time we have a vendor and Jetstream, and then we have a components, and every component we are using is available here. So what can I show you? Like, see, drop down link, how this is coming. So this drop down link is coming from XJet drop down. So there should be drop down link, this one, and here we are. So it is having a long thing, and you can see we have a Tailwind CSS configuration. So if I say hover is gray 100, I can convert it to red 100. Let's see, is this going to work? So refresh this page and let's see. Yeah, it is now red colored. And if I say blue, I want to play it. Okay, so now it is blue colored. So this is the way you can reuse all these things. Not only this, we can also have the model. Let's search for model. Yeah, confirmation model. So we have this confirmation model, and where we can see the confirmation part. Okay, so on the delete account, I can see this is the confirmation, delete account, and then something. So I want to say the footer, it's a background of let's say once again blue and 100. So refresh this page and try to delete, and yeah, you can see now it is blue. So I think you got the point, that how easy it to reuse all these things. Not only not only just in this application, you can use it in any application and modify it according to your own need. So that's amazing thing. To make things more intuitive and more streamlined, they have used actually the JavaScript library, which is called Alpine.js, created by Caleb once again, and you can find it inside this profile layout and somewhere. Yeah, so JS deliver, and we have this Alpine.js. Alpine.js is a new JavaScript framework created by the same person who has created the Livewire, called Caleb Livewire. If I search for him, yeah, Porzio. So Caleb Porzio is here, his blog is here. He is the coolest person in Laravel community right now, and he has created the Laravel Livewire, plus he has created the Alpine.js. So see this thing, you need to follow him, you can sponsor him also. Very nice person. Okay, so this is how we can use the Livewire things. But if you want to use the Inertia.js, what you need to do, we need to run this command to have the Inertia.js connected with the Jetstream. So let's run this one, because we need that teams thing also. So we need to give the flag of this teams. So the Inertia.js related things for this Jetstream is installed, and once again we need to run this thing to compile everything for Inertia.js, because now you are having various things and it is very nice, cool. Okay, so I was telling you about this. If you go inside this JS, and now you have a Jetstream, and we have all these the Vue.js components. And as I have explained you about the component, or for the Livewire component actually, which you can get from here, similar to this, we can see we have this one. So let's see drop down link actually, and I have not installed the Vue extension, but you can see everything is same. Once again you can change, like what we can change here, we can change, yeah, this one bg gray, and as usual we want to change it to blue. But first let's see how we can switch from Livewire to Jetstream Inertia.js. So it is compiled, and let's go to the Jetstream configuration, and here it's now actually converted to Inertia, already converted. So what we can do, we can start the server because I have closed it, and I can go here and refresh this page. Now it says inertia not found. Ooh. So that is for the Laravel side. So I search for Inertia.js. Let's go here, and let's go to server side setup. We need to install it, and let's open install. So finally Inertia.js is installed for the server side, that means for the Laravel. Refresh this page, and now we are having this thing. Very nice. But how we verify that this is going to be the Vue Inertia app? So once again, let's go and this time run npm run watch, so that it will watch whatever I am changing here. And now it is watching for any change in Vue application. So let's change from gray to blue and save it. It's recompiled. Refresh this page. I should move it like here. And now once again you will see that everything is now having a hover of blue, and if I say yellow, once again you got the point. But let's do one more interesting thing. I am going to switch this from live Inertia to Livewire instantly, and now see the magic. Refresh this page, and we are back with blue, because in our drop down link.blade.php, which is you can say Livewire component, we have a blue. So let's change it to red. Instantly it's reflecting here. We are just changing, like switching, like in a moment, like in a flash. So this is how this Laravel Jetstream work with Inertia, with Livewire, with all sorts of features. I cannot say in a one line, lots of features are there. So please share this video with others, so that everyone know what is Jetstream, how to see and how to manage things inside Jetstream, and what are the cool features of Jetstream. I'm surely going to add this thing in my in-depth Laravel course, and that will be the real implementation of this Jetstream into a real project, which we did on this in-depth React course. So if you want to get that, you can go to the indepthlaravel.com and simply check out everything on this landing page with the first module available here. So I'm going to end this video with the hope that this is going to be a game changer for Laravel, and whoever is saying PHP is dying, show them this thing, that this is purely made up of PHP. If you are using this Livewire, then you can definitely say that it is 100%, I can say 80% made up of PHP. And that's it. So we will meet in some other videos. Till then, goodbye.